Alright, so we just identified all the hosts, and now we're going to pick off the easy targets here. Easy targets being those with password open SSH, and password SSH being something we can brute force. So that being said, this coming is off our last one, which if you look at the last commands, we did our nmap, our scan, but that's not what we're here for. So I'm going to clear this out, and what we're going to do is search for something that is part of the Lua, like the nmap um, directory. And by that I mean like there are codes that come with this. So we're looking at nmap port 22 because that's what SSH runs off of, and then we're going to run a script. So hyphen hyphen or tac tac script, and then space SSH, and we're looking at the auth methods. So somebody went through and made the trouble of giving us a authorization methods, and we want to see if the SSH user script is up, which basically means can we use a password for this. So we're going to go script, and then basically here what we're going to say SSH user. Now we know that the SSH users are on our shell going to be, I'll make this a little bit bigger, are all going to be agent, but for the purpose of the competition, we don't want to use agent. We want to say user equals anything, so asterisk, and then close that quotes, and then we're going to say the target IP, which was 10, 15, 0. Oh no, that's not what we're doing. No, 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 no. So we're on our desktop. So what we're going to do is we're going to hyphen IL, and then we're going to start calling this hosts up, and that is how we're going to make this more efficient. All right, so I'm going to hit enter here. It's still going to take a while to cook, but now we're, oh, it did not take long to cook. All right, so now what we see is we have the public key for the hosts up. So what we're looking for is of all the things that all the hosts that we found earlier, does anybody have SSH with a password authentication? So I'm just kind of scrolling through this and seeing if I can find any with them. It looks like there's a lot of the hosts up, and I'm seeing public key, and this is all RSA right now. So we're going to see if we can find anybody who allows for any sort of username opposed to just a public key, which there might be some on here if I had gone through and started them, but it doesn't look like there is because I don't think I restarted the the service for a lot of these. So I'm going to pause this, run this again, and see if I can change that. That's embarrassing, but only kind of. Alright, so I just restarted the service, which yeah, the sudo service sshd restart on some of the ones I changed. So if I run this again, it'll show up. And so what we're looking for is specifically the type of supported authentication method here. And what we're going to see is, okay, so we have this up, and what we're going to try to find is the term password. So we're coming up here, we see public key, so that's where we're looking. We're kind of just scrolling through and seeing if there's any one of them that instead of just public key actually supports public key and password. And obviously you can use grep, you can use some of the things that we've talked about so far to kind of filter this down and make it go a little quicker. But for the number of devices we have, we found one here, which gives us that. So now we have a password protected and we have an IP, which means we can start to target that particular device. So 10, 15, 81, 138, If you go back to the SSH Sherlock, you can see how to start brute forcing anyone that is accessible with a password. Those are going to be the easiest targets. So I'm going to stop recording here and move on to the next one.